What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Beyond the Gym Floor. Today we are talking about how to have a world-class service. You may have seen us talking about it on the socials over the last few weeks. Hopefully you've even got a few emails about it. We break down the importance of building a service that works not only for you but for your client, the impacts of not systemizing your service and not having it efficient, and then also what it actually means to have a world-class service in 2025. What do you actually need to be offering people that's going to keep them coming back, that's going to get results for them, that's going to increase your retention, your referrals, and ultimately your income? Enjoy the episode. Before we jump in though, please hit the like, share, or subscribe button, or drop a comment. Just do something for us, just to make this episode just pop a little bit more. It's another one of these short, sharp episodes where we're value focused. We hope you enjoy it, and we'll see you in a minute, but I'll see you in the next episode, but I never see you because I'm talking to a camera. Bye. I don't have any banter for this one.
It's fine because we're all about
anymore.
We're about deliverables anyway.
Because everyone gave us such good feedback from last week's episode that we just recorded 3 minutes ago.
Yeah.
That the short episodes are here to stay.
We're batch recording.
Because everyone said it's awesome.
I should have taken this off so that
changed outfits. I did think about it.
No.
But
why would we do that?
Fuck yes. I'm going to look the same.
Why would we do that? Other podcasts do like batch records all the time.
Even the reels that are coming out on Learn at the moment, like I have the fucking teal shirt that stands out like wild. I took 6 shirts.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's one per week and then one for the YouTube videos. And I was like, fuck it, I'm just recording the whole lot.
You know, that actually matters if you just see the same.
Yeah, interesting. So it's better or it's worse?
Changing is better.
Should change my shirts.
Yeah. Well, like, because think about it like this, right? So
I wonder. So I was. Yeah, you go. You say things.
So, so if you look at like the frequency, like say it's an ad, right?
Yeah.
And the frequency goes over like 2.5. It means people are seeing it too often, right? Mm-hmm. So then because then it's like the more they see it, the less they're going to act on it, right? And then if you change the ad but you look the same, they already think that it was the same. So then it's like technically the frequency still goes up for them, but not in the data. Because if the ad's different.
So Tam needs to Photoshop my shirt to different colors every time.
Yeah, well, we need to think about that shit. Like that's the marketing shit that like when you take it to the next level, it's like that's why there's outfit changes, and that's why like there's always branding photo shoots done all the time, and there's you always got different outfits on and all that shit.
I was also curious with like what the reliability is though. So say you watch one of those reels and you're like, that was really good. And then you're flicking through your feed and you see the shirt. It's like, oh, it's one of them.
I can work both ways.
I was coaching a client with this during the week and it was like, I know Alex's, like Hormozy, I know one of his posts within 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And I know...
That's true.
What's her fucking name?
Layla.
I know Layla's in 2 seconds. They're the same business, but I know the difference between their content, like instantly.
To be fair...
And I know Chris Williams. Same. I'm like, that's a Chris video.
That's a really good counter, though.
So is it, you nail it, and now I have familiarity. I can't say that word. Now I'm familiar.
Familiarity.
It's hard, right?
Familiarity.
Now I'm familiar with that look, so that I know that's... So changing your shit too much is actually a problem. So where's the balance?
Yeah. So it's like wife beater and dad hat equal good content.
Something like that, yeah.
Jack man, wife beater.
But we were talking about like trying to be even consistent. Like if you have a post schedule, you always post your training content on a Tuesday night. It subconsciously creates this idea of like reliability. So it's like, oh, Jace's training content's out Tuesday night. It's out Tuesday night. It's out. You're not sitting there being like, oh, Jace posts this every Tuesday. But subconsciously, you're like, oh, it's another training video from Jace. It's another training video from Jace. Another training video from Jace.
Fair. So maybe if you bomb the content, don't change your outfit.
If you nail it.
If you bomb your content, change your outfit.
Yeah, if it's shit.
It's like, oh, this one might be better.
Yeah. Change the color. We'll see how we go.
Yeah. I think if you use maybe for your actual content's like having a similar kind of theme's good.
Yeah, but I think ads.
But if it's like,
refresh it.
But if the ad is the same.
Yeah, it needs to
visuals might not work in your favor. Possibly.
I wonder how much...
We got to review data, right? So
I wonder how much like your branding kit then affects it. Like, do you have your logo? Do you have your font? Like,
yeah. Oh, I reckon that would be an issue. If it was always inconsistent.
Yeah, it breaks trust.
Yeah. absolutely.
Yeah.
That doesn't look good. Did someone knock on the front door?
Probably. The coffee order is due today.
Yeah.
It could be that.
Yeah.
Just stop my knee. Tam will be like, Tam will think I'm stressed. I've just had lots of coffee. Talk about service.
So
It's your workshop in Stand Up PT. You're the service man.
Under the bus.
You're the service man.
Under the bus you go, Jace.
Look, to be honest, I wrote the guide. So
cool.
But I wrote the guide from your content from the course.
Because it's pretty fucking good. So.
Not going to lie.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Well, chat wrote a lot of it, let's be honest.
Not that one.
Huh?
No.
No. I took yours.
Oh, I was like, how dare you?
And then I said,
I've been delivering that workshop before AI existed.
I was like, this is the entire module. Make me a checklist.
Yeah, fair.
And now change this.
Because it's all shit.
And now we're good. Yeah, because what Jay said was wrong. No, I'm kidding.
Fair.
Great service gives you retention, referrals, reputation, authority, and as a result, income.
Yeah.
What makes a great service in 2025 for a personal trainer? What do you like? Non-negotiable client experience things that are must-haves.
How about we go at it from a different angle?
All right.
So just totally disregarding Ben's.
Fuck the checklist.
Nah, so I'll tell you why. So, doing some business mentoring with one of our guys, and she is in a position at the moment where her service is okay to the client, but not okay to the business.
Agreed. Yeah.
And it's letting her down to the point where it's getting in the way of her scaling her business.
Create an income ceiling.
Well, it's getting in the way because every time she brings on a couple of clients, she's like, I signed on 2 people, and she's excited the first time she says it. And then afterwards, it just gets progressively less exciting because she's got to think about how she's onboarding that person and how she's serving them and managing them, right? So I was like, okay, so the goal for today is to map out the journey. So we have to map out the journey from not only from so obviously leads and sales and marketing, you would do, first marketing interaction to signing them up.
Yes.
So that's the pathway there. But now it's like sales systems and service.
Yeah.
Systems and service. It's what do you do from when they first signed on the dotted line? What happens there? So
I'm going to jump in on something that's really important because I did a consult with someone for Standout recently who was like, everyone keeps telling me they want to sell me systems. It's like, what the fuck is a system? I don't even understand what systems means.
Yep.
And I was like, that's a really fucking interesting point. It's like we have a pillar in our business that's like, we will teach you systems. Like, what the fuck does that mean?
It's a repeatable process.
100%. So the idea and one of the prime outcomes that we try and achieve in our Standout PT program is every single element of your business is repeatable and predictable.
Yes.
So every single thing that you do, you can do it again.
Correct.
To the point where I could come and work in your business for 4 weeks and be able to do your job because it's a system.
Yeah, absolutely.
Go.
So, so we mapped out the current procedure.
Yeah.
Right. So it was like, onboarding, really manual. Programming was ridiculously manual and double handling. Nutrition, even more extensively double handling. And then, the other things involved in it. So I was like, okay, so from a user perspective, this is great. So this is serving the client. However, this isn't serving the business.
Yeah.
This isn't serving you. So you can't, I'm like, your goal is to double your income. So what you're doing right now, you cannot sustain double this work.
Yep.
You couldn't put on 4 to 5 clients in a week. Well, you could, but you don't want to.
Yeah.
Because you'd be fucked.
Yeah. One of the coolest moments in Thailand, it's the first night we're at dinner. And it was talking about, so why are you here? What the problem are you trying to solve? And I was just like, we just need more lead flow. Like the business is set up mad. I'm like, we could take, which obviously, 4 businesses, blah, blah, blah. She's like, oh yeah, that's really cool, blah, blah, blah. She's like, so what's the issue? I'm like, well, we could take 100 new clients tomorrow. We just don't have the lead flow to do it. And she was like,
yeah.
The amount of confidence that you just said that with is fucking insane.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, we could.
It's all built for it.
Systems is what we do.
Yeah, it's built for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the reason why I say, wanted to say that from the get-go, right, is yes, we want to make sure we serve the client. Yes, we want to make sure we get outcomes and, they're enjoying the experience and all of that. you can do that and run a really like laborious back end kind of way of doing things that doesn't serve your business. So it has to serve the client and it has to serve the person.
Yes.
So I've got to put that in the workshop. So from there, then we look at like, how do we do this simultaneously? How does the client get exceptional outcomes, and how can I do this so that it is repeatable, and I can have like, what you want to do is like, think about like the greatest week you've ever had and double it.
Yep.
And then you're like, okay, so I should be able to onboard that many people.
Yeah.
You know, so the best weeks, like some of it, like we've had in our business, like how many people did we put on January in 1 week?
Yeah,
it was
30.
like,
we did 30 in the month.
we did 30 in the month. And like there were couple of weeks where we did like 15 across the business, right?
Yeah.
Like every single one of those people got a really good experience. It was really repeatable, but it was still really personalized and all of that. And then we were able to sustain that too from our end. So that's probably the first place that we want to go with. And to get there, you got to look at the deliverables. So like I said, it's like, how do you deliver the training component to your service? How do you deliver? So maybe working with like what's in it.
Yeah.
You know, and what are you actually like giving that person in your offering? So I would outline all of that. It's like, what makes up the offer that person's taking you up on. Now, I know that offering is like partly like kind of sales, but it's like, it kind of still interweaves, like everything you do in business kind of still interweaves into like other areas. Yeah. So
we offer contains your service, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
it's a description of what it is.
So you've got to go, well, we would say have like maybe 2 offers, like, because everything else on top of that is just a little bit confusing. So know what the offer is, know what it does, know what the person can expect to get out of it, and what they can expect to get out of it in the outcomes, and then obviously what it's involved in it. Like, how do they do the day-to-days? So you'll have like your training, your nutrition, you know, your accountability, your support, your check-ins, all of that. And then you can go in through that and go, all right, so how is this all going to work?
Yeah.
And then the goal at all times is, like I said, make it work for them, make it work for you, which I don't think a lot of trainers do at the start. They make it work for the client.
Yeah.
And then they take a backward step. And then sometimes they just make it work off what they think is good based on who they hang out with.
Yeah.
And I'm like, sometimes I'm like, where did you make the decision to do this? And they're just like, oh, I just saw someone else do it and whatever. And I'm just like, oh, I wonder how many clients they've got. Because I'm like, this isn't made to be repeatable.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't made to take high volumes of clients.
Yeah. Or they're someone that prides themselves on hard work. So therefore doing work that is hard is like a badge.
Yeah.
Where it's like, no.
Yeah.
Like, being able to work hard is a badge of honor. Doing work that is hard for the sake of doing work that is hard is stupid.
Absolutely. Yeah. So
yeah.
Yeah,
so it's like, I work fucking 50 hours a week to coach my clients. Like, yeah, you got 20 of them.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and even, like, it's funny you say that, because, like, I got through, like, I'm not going to call it an ego death, but it was, like, you know, sometimes, like, people are like, everything has to be super personalized. Everything has to be, like, done from scratch upwards, right? So I was like, I know you pride yourself on that mantra. And I'm like, okay, so tell me every single client that you have, tell me all of their goals and all of their, like, the demography of all of them. And she was like, oh, they're all the same. And I'm like, okay. So I said, couldn't you write 12 months of programs, or even just like 2 6-month blocks? One's like super new, trying to get them to here, to over here. And then you have like programs from here upwards. So couldn't you write 2 like sets of those? And then you have really good blueprints to take them for the person that needs the programs, and you can adjust the personalization component of it by changing the exercises, changing the volume allocations, and maybe making some slight adjustments. But I'm like, if you have that blueprint there, wouldn't it be faster? And isn't it what you're already doing? And then she was just like, yeah. She's like, every program I write is very similar because the client is the same. Yeah. She's like, it's just different in terms of the exercises they do for their skill level, and obviously the amount of volume that they can do because of their recoverability.
The amount of times that we've done an example program in Standout PT that, like, I'm literally writing live with everyone, and someone will put their hand up and be like, bro, this looks exactly like my program.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah.
So it's like just trying to streamline as many things as you can. And then but that's not at the like detriment of like the personalized, like the experience of the client.
Yeah.
Like they're still going to get, I was like, can you get results with every single one of your clients? So we just wrote out like a rough like periodization thing. Cause I was just like, when we started talking about training, I'm like, I'll map it out for you here. So, and she was like, oh, this is so awesome. I haven't thought about it this way. And I'm like, if every single one of your clients did this particular periodization model,
would they all get results?
I said, would they all get results? And I said, and if you adjusted their training exercises and their volume based on what you thought was best for them, would you be delivering them just as good of a service? And she's like, yes.
Mm-hmm. Solved. Yeah.
Solved. Could you take on more people now? Yes.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that they're the lenses you got to look through.
Yeah. So we have our elite world-class service scorecard on the website right now. You go download the PDF and see whether or not you have a world-class service. Everything that Jason just said is inside a lot of the content that we've been putting out. It's like, it needs to be repeatable, it needs to be this, it needs to be this. But you need to obviously have a baseline. And I think there are a lot of trainers that are like, I just don't even know what I should offer. And they have 17 different offers and 17 different layers of all the shit.
Yeah.
And I think what we're seeing now is like, when we were coming up, it was like people competed on price. And I'm sure they still do.
Yeah.
But we had remember the trainer was like $30 or something?
Yeah.
Like everyone else in the gym was double that.
Yeah, it's join the race.
It's just like, I'll just less and less and less and less. Like it's wild.
And I have to do double the amount of work.
Yeah. So now I think it's this like race to just, with the undeniable offer thing that we talked about in the last episode, people are chasing offering more customization, more in personalization, more me time, more demand to then justify their own value.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of, like, when I was writing this, I was like, fuck, this is like almost underwhelming. Because I was like, there's not that much to have a world-class service. In my head, I was like, this isn't that much. This is very manageable for most personal trainers to put together in a pretty short period of time.
Yeah.
But people are chasing, but I spend 3 hours writing my program. That fucks them.
Yeah, they make themselves the value add.
Yeah.
And the pillar of their service. Like, that's the biggest one. It's like,
So one of the big takeaways I had from Thailand was like, and I've been coaching this a lot, is like, I run a business. I'm not the business.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah, which is hard, man.
Yeah, especially in PT, man.
Especially when you spent 8 years building a brand.
Yeah.
Like you. Yeah. Driving it. And you sit in this chair every week. Mm-hmm. It's like, you're the face, and then it's like all of a sudden you're like, I'm not.
Yeah. I run it.
Hurts.
It's its own entity. I'm not it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and like it's really easy to tie your own identity into your business, especially in PT. There's so many layers to it. Like why you became a trainer. Like, of course. Was it validation? Was it like, like what?
Yeah. And the marketing strategy you chose to choose too, because it's like no like trust, you have to be the face.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah. But I think people get scared of letting go of it. There's a reason we all get into PT.
Yeah.
It fulfills a need. What is that need? And then letting go of having... Because I said to someone the other day, I was like, I think I was able to let go of it when I had a son.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't give a fuck if anyone else likes me anymore. Like, if LJ likes me, I'm cool.
Yeah, fair.
Whereas, like, before, like, how many PTs do you know that have people-pleasing tendencies?
Yeah.
So I can go please all these people, and that gives me value.
Yeah.
So then I'm the business. Because I need to be pleasing the person to have value. And then, there's 400 other reasons that people get into it.
Which is super rough, though, because once you have, like, there's going to be a point where you have to remove yourself for whatever reason. So if your service is based around you being the value add, like, that's a rough road, man. Can't get sick, can't take holidays. Like, the perception of value, like, when you're not there is, like, going down, like,
try take a holiday.
Yeah, because it's like they're seeing dollar for dollar, right? Like we always talk about, like how's the perception of what's the perception of value within your business, and that's based on all of the things that you offer, and then what they're worth, and whether the client sees it that way, and then how much you charge.
Yeah.
So if yours is like literally 1-to-1, and you're the value add, you remove yourself. Guess what? Your service is not worth anything anymore to that person, so they're not willing to pay for it.
Yeah. And then you are able to maintain this identity that you're the business and you're important, so you get that need fulfilled, even though it's fucking your life up.
Yeah, well, you're not getting any money coming through.
Yeah.
The bank's still going to ask for the mortgage every week. Like, bills still have to be paid. So, that's a really common trap to fall into that you want to remove yourself from.
So on the checklist, structured training program.
Yeah.
the fact that we still have to say that is wild, but we fucking do because not everyone has one.
Training program, deliverable, like, paper's good. I think that, like, moving forward though, like, technology is where it's at. It should be delivered technologically at some point.
Yeah.
As fast as possible.
There's still people using spreadsheets, which I think is okay, but the clients are more and more demanding an app.
Yeah, especially from a user, but that's like, again, only looking at it from the business side. Like, so they're always like, I like. It's like, have you asked your clients? Because they probably fucking hate it.
Yeah. The spreadsheet model.
Yeah, bro. Because the user interface is awful.
Yeah.
Like on the phone. Like, so yeah, I think they're just running it based on it works for me.
Yeah.
Questionable whether the clients actually want that.
Some kind of nutritional support.
Yep.
Now, you don't have to go out of scope to provide nutritional support.
No.
We did it for fucking 5 years.
Yeah.
And got amazing results and won challenges and flex. We did it.
Yep.
But you need to have some kind of nutritional support because 99% of people that hire personal trainers aren't hiring them, so they're better at a fucking sit and reach test. They want to look, feel, and perform better. And to look, feel, and perform better, it's not just what they're doing in the gym.
Yeah.
So you have to have something. Shameless plug, go to our shop, complete nutrition guide, done for you, branded in your own shit, go fucking buy it, you're done. Like, it's sorted. Yeah. It's cheaper than getting qualified. Some kind of warm-up resource. I think if you're still doing warm-ups with your clients, you're creating this environment, and this is where it starts getting into business stuff. When this came up and I was like, is warm-up resources really, like, it's third on here. Like, is that really a thing that matters?
No, I think it's resources.
But so the warm-up specifically, I think, is a nice little litmus test of how you run your business. Are you doing your 90-90 hip stretch with your client and and you're trading time for money in that moment?
Yeah.
Or have you got a mindset that's like, what is the best outcome for the client? What do they need me for? Which is 30 minutes. Sure, if you want to do 45 an hour, whatever. Yeah. But they're not paying you to watch them do a 5-minute walk, foam roll, stretch, do their first 2 warm-up sets and start the session.
Yeah.
If you're using it for a check-in, whatever. But you could do that while they're training.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I think it's just an insight. It's not the warm-up resource itself. It's, are you thinking, how do I provide value without me being here?
Correct. Yeah.
Face-to-face sessions and what the standards are. Do you have clear expectations about how a session runs? Do you spend the entire session talking about the weekend, the dog, the family? Or, like, how many trainers are doing online check-ins for face-to-face clients?
Yeah.
Why?
You're already there.
You're fucking there.
You have the opportunity to do it there, yeah.
Talking to 2 online coaches that have 40 clients that wish they could have the first 5 minutes of a session every week to do that check-in in because it'd be far more effective because you can get dialogue back and forwards.
Yeah, it's just done instantly.
Like, it's wild to me. It's like, get them to fill out the form, open the form when they start.
Even there's coaches that do that and then do calls.
Yeah.
It's like, you're already in the
you're
session.
There. And what the fuck do you talk about?
Double handling anyway. Like, have the conversation in the workout.
The footy, I don't know.
Yeah. Yep.
So, is it structured? So, my clients, when I left face-to-face, knew, hey, how you feeling? Whatever that answer was, like, there's a distinct amount of replies that are going to happen in that first 3 minutes of conversation. It's no different to every single check-in that I send. It's like, hey, thanks so much for your check-in. And I say the numbers of their nutrition and training. It's like, oh, we've got a 4 and a 3 this week. Let's have a look. Like, every single session, how you feeling? How's your day? Blah, blah, blah. Sweet. Didn't have to go like, and how are you out of 10? It's just like, the answer to how are you, how you feeling, how's your day is enough for me to be like, okay, so are we going today? Where are we at?
Yeah.
That was enough. Every single client knew that was a structure. The first exercise, probably technical, so we may spend quite a bit of time on actual technical feedback in there, especially I was doing a lot of squat, bench, deadlift.
Yeah.
As we progressed into the session, last week we talked about you eating protein for breakfast. Tell me about it. There's a KPI coming that I'm going to ask you about.
Yeah.
And they all knew it. And they all knew that if they hadn't done it, they were going to have the conversation.
Yeah.
So they knew what that session structure was going to be. Most personal trainers don't have that.
No.
It's just like, oh, let's just chat.
Correct.
Which is a problem.
Yeah, I think the check-in outside of the session is like probably their way of trying to focus on some of the things that they don't get to do in the training session, just to play devil's advocate.
Yeah.
But then it just morphs into something that could be done like in the session.
Yeah. Do you know what I think it is? It's not that they don't get a chance to do it in the session. They're uncomfortable having the conversation.
Yeah, true.
Because it's like, how much easier is it to do an online check-in and be like, oh, look, like we really need to focus on your protein, then look someone in the eye and have them uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Say like, nah, I didn't do the thing, Jason.
Yeah, that's fair. I wonder if they ever overlap. Like if you ever do the check-in and then talk about it in the session.
Oh no.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like do they ever...
Definitely. Yeah, talk about the same shit. So in the same week.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I wonder how that works.
Yeah. So client check-ins in general, what do they look like? Are they, if you're a face-to-face coach, they should be done face-to-face. If they're online, how are you structuring them and why?
Yep.
Our preference is a form with a Loom video response and then
absolutely.
Usually back and forwards 3-4 messages.
Yeah, it should be like, you should be able to do that when it's like set up in your work week, not be at the mercy of a time that's done with it.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah, the 15-minute call model and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, like, you're taking the same model that you had in the gym and then just putting it to your online business. Like you're still capped by time,
Agreed.
Which doesn't make sense. But
yeah.
Yeah.
Education and resources, which is, in my eyes, I'm looking at that as how can I remove myself and improve the client experience and their likelihood of getting a result at the same time.
Absolutely.
So that's a good resource. So the bench press is probably the most common one that I get because most of my girls are decent at squats, decent at deadlifts and kind of cue enough. But I'll get a bench press video and I'll just be like, okay.
It seems a bit weird.
Because it's like, it's a bro press. They just lay down and do a bench press.
Yeah.
So
it's pretty technical as well.
What's more beneficial? Me on a Loom call, swinging around in my fucking office chair. Now you need to tuck this and do this. And or sending them a really fucking polished resource that goes start to finish from setup, think about how to review it yourself, how to look at it, what to think about, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And go, sometimes I'll be like, just watch the setup video.
Correct.
And this will fix 90% of your problems. And next week, I want you to look at this and look at this.
Yeah.
What's more valuable to the client?
Yeah, well, they can access that information whenever they want.
In the rest period. Imagine watching me talk for fucking 15 minutes as a little bobblehead on your screen while you're trying to set up for your bench press versus a deliberate, scripted, here's how to bench press the most effective possible. Yeah. And also, the 15th time this month you've delivered that. Yeah. Is it the same?
Yeah, I think whenever you can narrow the time between like problem and solution, like that is going to exponentially increase the service. Yeah. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to get back to that person at all times. Like that person can still dive through the resources inside the app to find the training series and stuff. And the first time you've averted their attention to it, in the future when they have an issue, they could potentially go and find that themselves. Yeah. So I think that should always be the goal with like the resources. It's like if they have an issue, you can tell them where to solve it, but then they also can find it themselves. Yeah. So they're going to perceive the value of this whole surface as way higher. Yeah.
Even if they never use them.
Yeah, over just waiting for you to get back to them.
I think that's some feedback too that trainers have. It's like, oh, people never fucking watch them. It's like, do you prescribe them? Yeah. When you're having a conversation with your client.
Yeah, do you send them or do you solve it on the spot?
You're talking to them and you're like, oh, look, there's a bunch of stuff that we can do for your sleep. What I'm going to do is send you my sleep resource. I want you to watch it, read it, put it on your fridge, and we'll chat about it next session. Yeah. That, again, is so much more valuable than, like, maybe you forget a couple of points, maybe you get distracted, maybe the rest timer goes off and you forget. Like, it's just so much more polished. And, again, it's like every time I have a problem, Jason just sends me to this fucking polished thing that's really thought out and thorough and really solves the problem that I have.
Yeah, it also... You're still serving the person, but like even just from the coaching element, like you're not having them think that because they're like they paid $100 a week for you, like they own you. Yeah. So you're just like their personal assistant that just solves all their problems for them.
Yeah, babysitting.
Like you're like, hey, go find this and take the initiative to learn and absorb the information and implement it. And I think that that's a really important thing to do because. Like the more and more coaching kind of happens and the more digitalized we go, there is that like over-serving kind of element to it. And from a consumer, like they do think that for $80 a week, they get a personal VA, like a, they get like a PA, right? So you have to put your boots in the ground and go, watch this resource, learn this. Like, sure, you'll immediately solve an issue, like, because you have the knowledge or the common sense to go, right, this needs to be solved now. But you shouldn't be doing that for everyone.
Yeah. And you should be able to, because they're going to forget it anyway.
Correct. And it's like, when are they absorbing that information as well? They could be like watching it on their lunch break. Like, they can't go and take all that information that you just said to them.
Yeah. And even if you said it in a session, like, here's 10 things you can do to improve your sleep. They don't fucking remember all them.
No, of course not.
Send them a resource they can put on their fridge.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one's the biggest one, I think, right now, to save us from the robots, is community engagement.
Yeah.
What's the community element of working with you?
Yeah. Yeah, I think the litmus test is like, do your clients interact with each other without you being the focal point all the time?
Yeah, it's pretty huge.
And then will your clients train with each other if they get the chance to? Like, I think those things are a great litmus test of like the culture that you're cultivating. You obviously have to drive it, but it's like when you get to like how, like, is this kind of working out? It's like those are some really good examples. And then like just holding events and just basically any chance you can get to get the team together, like that's going to be a really, really good value add to your business. That's going to stand out comparative to other businesses.
Yeah, and it's just understanding most of the people you're working with don't exist in the circle that you do. You think it's normal, depending on what age you are. You are around enough people and absorbing enough content that you think everyone else has other people in their lives that do the same things that they do.
Yeah.
How fucking weird were we in Thailand?
Bro, it's such an eye-opener.
Like, what the fuck are these two mutants?
They were like, what did they say? They said, I can't believe you guys ordered chicken skewers before your lunch.
Yeah.
And just to get the protein in. And
then,
that
then she was like, I didn't even finish my fucking chicken in my pad thai.
Yeah. And then Jacob was like, how does it feel being the big guy? And I'm like, I hang out with a bunch of big guys.
I'm not the big guy because they're all bigger than me.
Yeah, I was like, this doesn't feel like anything.
Yeah.
I'm like, just hang out with big guys who work out all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you don't realize, definitely not.
Yeah. So if you've got a client who doesn't have anyone else that trains, that eats well, that prioritizes their health, fitness, maybe
which, let's be real, like statistically, that doesn't
rare.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
So getting those people together is like a really valuable thing because they don't feel lonely.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how do you facilitate that?
The older you get, the harder it is too. So.
Well, yeah, and that's I think when I said that depending on how old you are, I was like, as a younger PT, I feel like you're starting to like cut away from your high school friends and you're starting to like...
Yeah, you're shedding a bit.
So you're probably you're having those feelings yourself, but you're like, oh, all my new friends train. And we hang out, and like there's 20 other PTs at my gym. We all train, and that's like the life I live. It's content, it's my algorithm, it's my YouTube, it's everywhere. This person may only talk to, think about, consider exercise for the 30, 40 minutes a week that they're with you.
Yeah.
And no one else gets it.
Correct.
So how do you get all of them together?
Yep.
So we're gonna leave it there. Head to the website, download the checklist. Measure yourself again. There's a little exercise at the end, and we're going to tell you what it is. Just to measure yourself.
Yeah.
See where you are in your business and whether or not you do have this world-class service that we're talking about. That was all pretty simple.
It's just putting it together regularly.
And making sure that, like you said at the very start, that you can do this all in a repeatable fashion.
Yeah.
That it's a system that you can apply over and over and over again. That increases your capacity. So we said at the start, I can't remember what all the things were. A good service.
Got to go back and watch the episode.
A good service will retention, referrals, reputation, authority, and income. So if you build a good service, you have all of those things. But that's what you should be thinking about: is does it improve my retention? Does it improve my referrals? Does it improve my reputation, my authority, and my income? So if you're doing too much, like one-on-one time, it's affecting your income.
Yeah.
And is that producing authority if you're just saying the thing, or does producing this amazing document resource give you more authority?
It probably gives you better results too.
Agreed. All right, that's it. Thank you guys again. Don't forget, hit the like, share, or comment. Do a thing. Just do something.
Yeah.
Make the episode more on the internet. Go to stcfit.com and click on the world-class service checklist. Download it, complete it. You'll hear from us. We'd like to hear what you thought. And see you next week.
See you guys.